A warm welcome, everyone, to Amazing You. I am your host, Rani Thanakodi. I am a hypnotherapist and also a Mars Venus life and relationship coach and astrologer. I help women and men who feel stuck in their lives to overcome their emotional and physical issues by using a rapid and innovative hypnotherapy method to get rid of those issues so that they live a fulfilling life and relationships without spending years in therapy. Hello, everyone. Today we have a very, very special guest from India. We have Rima Medhi. And Rima, welcome. Welcome to Amazing You, Rima.
Hi, Rani. I am so excited to be here. So, this is like such an honor. There's so much excitement. I mean, we've known each other for a while now. And to be here on your
Yes.
YouTube show, on your podcast, I think this means the world to me. So, thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking your time to be here. I'm very honored and I'm sure you will inspire a lot of people today. So let's get started straight away, Rima.
All right, let's begin.
Okay, so tell us briefly about your story, Rima.
Okay, so let me focus on the professional aspect of it, okay?
Yes.
Because the professional aspect of my story is extremely long. I'm going to try and share parts with you that are relevant for our audience,
Okay.
okay? So I'm by education, I'm an engineer. Okay, I'm an electronics engineer because I come from a very academic family. So that was a natural extension of what my parents would have wanted me to do as a child, as a teenager. And while I was finishing my engineering course, I had this urge to be in the performing arts field. I wanted to be in media, in acting, in performing.
Okay.
And the best thing I could do for myself is I enrolled myself into a radio show host hunt. So I competed with like thousands of people and I won myself a job. So when I completed my engineering degree, I became a radio show host and I remained a radio show host in India and in the UAE for a very long time, almost 10 years. And while I enjoyed the highs of hosting a radio show, meeting celebrities, and
Mm,
attending film events and premieres and
yes.
launches, it was a great life. But I think somewhere within me was the urge to really find my calling, to find my life purpose as a professional, and also to create a lot more value than I was creating in people's lives. Of course, I was creating a grand amount of value because when you go on radio and you speak with people, you're speaking to lakhs and lakhs of people at one go. Because you're live, right? You're live,
Yes.
and the whole city is listening to you. Your shows are getting recorded, going to other cities. So all of that is great, and you're putting a smile on people's face. People are
That's
beginning to
true.
recognize your voice. They want to talk to you. They like you. They respect you. They value your opinion, your thoughts. But I still felt like, okay, making people smile is good, but how can I really transform lives? Okay, I really want to transform lives and I didn't know how to do it. So I kept thinking, and I started getting this odd download from the universe that I'm meant to work with children. Okay, so if
Okay.
I'm meant to work with children, what am I to do with children? Okay, so that is something that I was very confused about. And then unfortunately I fell very, very ill.
Oh,
I got so ill that I just couldn't get out of bed. And this lasted for a good 2 years of my life. So I was
okay.
like in the prime of my youth, bedridden almost, in a very, very bad state. And that's the time when I realized, and I was very, very isolated. I didn't have any support, anybody to talk to, anybody to kind of, engage with me, except for maybe a phone call. And you know how people are busy. So when phone
Yes.
calls become very scarce, not that people have time all the time to call you and check on you. So that's when I just had this thought that, we're with each other. All of us are with each other, but we're communicating, but we're not really talking. We're not really doing
Yes.
heartfelt communication. We're not connecting. We're just like
Mm.
talking for the sake of talking. So then I kind of kept thinking about this and I started to wonder, what if we taught children who are very young, like say from the age of 4, we started teaching children how to communicate in a value creating manner, how
Right.
to communicate using the values of empathy, authenticity, mutual respect, inclusion.
Yes.
Okay,
Mm.
what would happen is that would become their natural way of speaking and communicating and operating. And as they would grow up, that would be ingrained in their nature. And hopefully, and my greatest hope, in fact, is the fact that they will grow up to be adults who are inclusive, empathetic, mutually respecting, very authentic in the way they behave and connect with people. And I somehow started to see that as a vision. That vision got so strong in my head that I actually acted on it. And when I finally recovered and I was able, I mean, I wasn't even fully okay, but I was able to move around. Like, I was no longer bedridden. I was not completely all right, but I could walk. So the moment I knew I could walk confidently and I was feeling safe in the way I was walking, because I was very, very off balance, I said, okay, I'm going to start this. And I launched a small proprietorship company called Creatiwitty.inc, which has now grown, of course. And I started to work with children on communication skills, value creating communication, as I call it. And that was in 2014, and today we're in 2021, and very, very happy and very proud to share that Creativity.inc today has had more than 5,000 students.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing, because we all need something like that, and we learn it much, much later. Like, if you are like what you are doing, teaching that at a young age, that's amazing to have these children to grow up and to have already these values in them and become better individuals, which is wonderful. Wonderful, Rima. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we start as young as 4, and we go all the way till 15 years. And now ever since we've kind of started getting interest, we've also started working exclusively with teenagers. So right. Between 15 to 19. And we also started, training for young adults who have just entered the corporate world. So now it's almost like it's all become so seamless that we don't have an age group that we don't cater to.
Wow.
So that kind of a thing. Yeah.
That's amazing how you just had an idea, and that's how it has grown into a big business now. It tells you how powerful is our imagination. It just came
Absolutely.
as a thought.
Yeah. And thoughts do become things, they become organizations.
Yes, and that's an amazing story. That's an amazing story. Yes.
Thank you so much.
And Rima, can you tell me who has been the most influential person in your life? What 3 qualities you can say about that person?
Okay, so I know just the person that I'm going to talk to you about. Okay. So I practice Buddhist chanting. Okay, I chant these 4 words called Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. So my mentor, Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, who is like a peace builder and a philosopher, he's a Japanese gentleman. He has been the greatest influence in my life. So when I speak of him as a teacher, as a mentor. Okay, yes. It's not like I'm worshipping him. He's probably somebody who taught me to worship the greatness that lies within me and within each life, and which is probably the reason why I'm able to serve children so unconditionally, because he is a great promoter of peace, culture, and education. Okay. So he's always talking about education, the value of education, not the fact that education gets you a job or education gives you status, not like that, but what value does education create in your life, in your heart, in your mind? Mm-hmm. So I think I have tried to imbibe all the principles that he talks about value creating education into my value creating communication skills training. And he's pretty much the inspiration for everything that I do. And 3 qualities of his. I think one is, I think learning, reading his books, reading his teachings, what it has taught me never to give up. Because what happens in life is that when you're fighting a battle or you're trying to accomplish a goal, the day you give up, you have one certainty that it's never going to happen. But when you don't give up, you always have the possibility of the next moment where something's going to happen for you.
Yes.
So if you keep pressing on and keep trying, there is no way that the universe will not support you. And if your intention is clear, like I always tell all my clients, intention is everything. So if your intention is that to serve and create value, the universe will support you and you will get there. So never give up. So he always says, it's okay to, kind of fail once in a while, but it's not okay to be defeated. If you fail, you can get up once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 7 times. But if you are defeated, that's the end of your journey.
Yes. So, I think that's beautiful. That's a great message, Rima. Yes.
Thank you. So that was one. So never to kind of be defeated, never to give up.
Yes.
And one thing about him is that he is somebody who has more than 350 doctorates to his name. Okay. So can you imagine the level of knowledge and understanding and, his powerhouse of intelligence that he is? But he is somebody who is the same person, whether he's meeting a global leader or whether he's meeting a little child. he's the same person. And not a lot of us can say that in the modern world. We change according to the person in front of us. I've
Yes.
done that. I've been in media, corporate. I have changed when I'm meeting a celebrity. I'm changed when I'm meeting another colleague. But learning from him, I have tried to imbibe that so much into my personality that now I can truly say that I'm very, very close to being the same with everybody. And being so seamless and so real and so authentic at all times, I think it's a high. It gives me a high to be that light, all the time without any baggage. I
Yes.
think that's
Yeah.
something I've learned from him. And apart from that, I think I've learned from him. He always tells us to put, millions of moments of effort in a single moment of life, because one moment of life is like eternity. Your past, your present, your future, everything is in that moment, right? So you need to put in all the effort, be completely present in that one moment. And then from that moment, you can create very great things. So these are the three things that I've learned from him, and I totally, completely follow them every single day of my life.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, Rima, because when you say we have different faces, and that's very true. A lot of us, we have different faces. We have a public face that we show, we have a private face, and we even have a secret face. One of my mentors, he used to tell us that. And being your true authentic self, it's very important to have the same face that you show to everybody, but the same face you show to yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rima. So, Rima, I would like you to tell us, what are the challenges that you face in integrating your work and your family responsibilities?
I think the greatest challenge is to, as a solo entrepreneur and as a woman entrepreneur staying in
Yes.
India, for me, the first challenge was to open up the market to a new concept.
Right.
Kids were being taught speech and drama, they were being taught elocution. At max, they were being taught public speaking. I didn't even know whether value creating communication skills was a saleable concept. So for
Okay.
me to open up the market, I think it has taken a while, but now the market is so open.
Mm.
Parents are so receptive that I'm super grateful. So yeah, I think believing in my vision without seeing results for about 2-3 years of my life was probably the darkest phase. And at that point, seeing the way my family was being supportive, to probably not feel guilty saying, oh, I'm not able to do anything for them. They're just being supportive, but I can't do anything for them. I think that was again a big challenge. And I think that came from a lot of low self-esteem of myself, that I'm not good enough, I'm not doing anything for them in return, they're just supporting me, this is never going to work. So I think the greatest challenge for, I think, any woman is probably like keeping your self-esteem on the up and up rather than
Yes.
questioning yourself. And when it comes to integrating responsibilities at home, I think we're all working from home. To kind of be a compassionate family member as well as a thriving businesswoman, I think that is always a challenge, because sometimes you want to give more importance to one, less to the other. But in
Yes.
my life, my family is very, very important to me, so I'm always trying to keep everything level and everything prioritized. And sometimes I end up neglecting myself, and that's not kind as well. So I
Yeah.
think that whole hamster on a wheel, like, keep being kind to yourself, being kind to your family, still being very, very authentic and focused on your business, I think that's a challenge that I face. But I enjoy it because it's very, very fulfilling, very satisfying all the same.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you. So, what quote, Rima, has helped you to cope in challenging times? Like you said, you were sick. So, for example, you couldn't get out of bed. What thought did you have? What mantra did you use to keep you fighting, to keep you like wanting to move forward?
I think there were a couple. One is that,
Okay.
everything's a phase and nothing lasts forever, which is what we keep telling ourselves.
Yes.
But, there's another one which, is part of, again, Japanese literature, because I read heavily into that. It is, they say winter always turns to spring.
Mm,
They say
yes.
you've never known of winter going back into any other season. Winter's always the harshest winter, is always followed by the brightest spring. So I used to keep telling myself, winter always turns to spring, which means the winter in my life, which is my illness, is going to turn into spring, where I'm going to be energetic and okay and all healed. But all I have to do in the meantime is that when there is winter in my life, I have to make sure there's spring in my heart.
Yes.
Because if there's spring in my heart, I can go through the winter with ease, and then spring will come anyways outside also.
Yes, I think that's beautiful to have that spring always in your heart, whatever the
Yes.
situation. Yes. Yeah.
Outside, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And Rima, what would you say to encourage young people or anyone who want to start their business today, or anybody listening who is facing a challenging time right now?
So I think there are so many people right now who are facing challenging times. People have lost family members. It's been such a hard time for business. But
Yes.
I want to tell everyone, and I tell that to myself every day, that winter always turns to spring. This too shall pass. There is no pandemic that can last forever. You know, if there's a difficult economic situation, it cannot last forever. But
That's
while
right.
you're going through it, if you can fill your life with gratitude, if you can
Mhm.
fill your life with optimism, it's going to pass that much faster, because like every moment has eternity in it. Every moment is an opportunity to make a better choice or choose a better thought or be
Yes.
happier. So if you can keep doing that, the difficult time will also pass. So that's definitely, the advice for people who are going through a tough time. And if you want to start your business, I think if you want to start a virtual business, especially, there's no time like right now. It's an amazing
Mm.
time to do that. But
Yes.
having said that, just like a lot of us glorify, we see that business is being glorified everywhere, in books, in media. Oh, I started a business, I make 50 times more than my salary in
Right.
corporate or whatever. So I feel like all of that is possible, and each one of us is working towards that. But not to have those rose tinted glasses, and say that everything's going to be easy. It's
Mhm.
better to have a wonderful, large vision, but be very grounded in reality, be very,
Yes.
very organized, do a lot of research, and really up level your skills and hone your art or your work. Become the best at what you do. It's okay if you don't have a client 1 month, but it's still important that you're the best at what you do, because
Absolutely.
that finally spirals into a lot of business, and this business is obviously a lot more money and prosperity and abundance. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's great. Thank you. Thank you, Rima. And Rima, can you tell us about your business,
Okay.
about a bit more about your business, and how can we reach you? How can we contact you?
Okay, so I have two businesses. I'm happy to be like a multi entrepreneur. Okay, and my first business is to do with education, wherein I work with young children between the ages of 4 to 15. I
Okay.
work with them for value creating communication skills, like I mentioned, and performance skills. And we do all of this based on the values of empathy, authenticity, mutual respect, and inclusion. Okay, and we have the most fun modules for children. So we work with
Okay.
children for stand-up comedy. We teach them how to do TED Talks. We teach them
Wow.
how to debate and public speak and write books. And there's nothing fun that we don't do. We help children launch their YouTube channels. We help
Okay.
children launch their podcasts.
Wow.
Okay, we're always doing really fun things. We make children into TV show hosts and radio show hosts. So we
Mm.
basically equip them with life skills, performance
Yes.
skills, all the while actually working on their communication skills in really fun ways. And if you want to check out our business, you can check us out on Instagram, and our handle is at Creatiwitty.inc _ and I will most definitely offer you the information in a written form so that you can get the right handle. And my second business, which probably I haven't spoken about, in our time together, is that I'm a confidence and a communication coach for women entrepreneurs who run virtual businesses. So I help them to master their communication skills so that they can go from feeling absolutely invisible in their business to
Yes.
influential and profitable. So
Right.
that's what I do. And I help them to craft a beautiful visibility strategy for their business so that they are noticed by the right people, by their ideal clients. And, they get a lot of business and they're able to turn everything into like comfortable profits. Because I think empowering women is such a wonderful, wonderful job, because you empower a woman, you empower her kids, you empower her family.
Yes.
It's so beautiful. The whole
Yes.
concept is so beautiful. So if you have to ask me, my two weaknesses or strengths in this life are, my feelings, for children and women. I just want both those to be super empowered and happy. And I'm
Mm.
continuously trying to work in those ways, through both of my businesses. And if you want to find me on Facebook, I have a community. It's called Invisible to Influential. I'm
Okay.
also on Instagram. It's at Rima Medhi. Okay, you can find my website www.creativity.inc.com. So those are the ways in which you can reach out to me, and you can also obviously comment below this video, and I'll be happy to reach out to you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rima. Thank you for all this information. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. And we thank everybody who has been listening to you and watching you. So thank you, everyone, for coming here, for being here today to amazing you. And we wish you, Rima, continued success in whatever, in your job, in your 2 jobs, and in your passion. And thank you. Thank you so
you,
much.
Rani, for having me. And thank you, everybody, for listening to us. Thank you very much. Be happy, be strong, stay safe.